A new PlayStation and a new Xbox are coming sometime soon. I know a lot of you feel this generation still hasn't hit a stride, that we need more great games, not more boxes. I get that. I feel it too. A lot of the best PlayStation 5 moments have come from a handful of titles that really leaned onto the hardware, not from a steady stream of must-have exclusives. But there are also clear businesses and technical reasons why Sony and Microsoft look likely to start a new generation soon. First, the numbers. Sony says that the PlayStation ecosystem now has about 124 million monthly active users across the PlayStation 4 and of course the PlayStation 5. And for the first time, a bigger share of that activity is on PS5 more than PS4. That matters because even if many players still use older hardware, the people who did upgrade are spending more on the games and services. Sony's reported global PlayStation 5 sell-in is also north of 80 million units as of mid of 2025. Quite impressive. But it still is behind the PlayStation 4's final total of around 117 million shipped units. Those gaps plus price issues shape how both companies plan the next step. Microsoft's situation is different, but just as urgent. Xbox hardware revenue has been falling year over year. Recent quarterly reports show a large drop in hardware revenue even while content and services like Game Pass first-party titles grew. Microsoft can keep Game Pass and services running, but the hardware side is under pressure. That makes a strong case for a new console strategy that can win back attention and justify higher price tiers. So what are the big ideas people that are talking about? The rumors and some of the public comments from both companies and their partners, and they're pointing to two different approaches. One rumor threads call the next Xbox a premium PC adjacent machine. You might see the codename Magnus in the leaks as well. Now, the idea is a powerful console that blurs the line with gaming PCs, so higher performances, better frame rates on the monitors, and native support for PC game stores or easy access to PC library while still sitting in the Xbox's ecosystem. Now, if that's true, Microsoft would be targeting players who want PC-level performance without building a desktop. Now, I expect higher price tags and hardware that aims for the top of the performance curve. Now, there are still leaks and industry chatter, but they're consistent across multiple reports. Sony, on the other hand, seems to be planning a little bit differently. Public comments from Sony and its hardware architect Mark Cerny and the company work with AMD point to a strategy where specialized AI features do a lot of the heavy lifting. Instead of simply scaling GPU power, Sony appears to be investing in a machine learning-based upscaling, denoising and smarter streaming so the system can reach high resolutions and smoother frame rates without the same raw silicon cost. But plainly, use of AI to get better visuals and a performance from less expensive hardware. That lets Sony build a cheaper model that still looks and plays like a next generation experience for most of the people. But why would each company choose these routes? For Microsoft, the PC audience is appealing because it is big, and Microsoft already owns Windows and has close ties to PC Store and the infrastructure. A premium Xbox that can sit alongside Steam or the Epic Store and run PC builds more smoothly gives Microsoft a chance to capture people who value frame rates and modularity. For Sony, a lower-cost PlayStation that leans on software tricks is a faster path to move the install base forward, and that helps developers reach more players without leaving behind those still on the PlayStation 4. Both companies want new revenue opportunities. Microsoft wants to keep Game Pass and content growing. Sony wants more players on newer hardware to buy full-price games and DLCs. The different strategies reflect different strengths and goals. There's another practical reason to hurry: the install base mix. As of mid of 2025, there were still tens of millions of active PlayStation 4 players, and many third-party titles continue to support older hardware because of the sizable audience that is still there. that slows how fast developers can take full advantage of the PlayStation 5's capabilities. A cheaper, more attractive place could break that barrier, convince more players to upgrade, and let studios stop optimizing around older consoles. That's a big win for Sony if they can execute properly. Meanwhile, Microsoft's hardware decline makes a premium pivot logical. If you're selling fewer based consoles, selling a smaller number of higher margins, more powerful systems, and making an ecosystem more PC friendly, that can be a sensible way to protect revenue and keep brand relevance. Microsoft has already leaned onto the services and cross-platform play. A stronger, pricier box targeted at the enthusiasts PC gamers would extend that playbook onto the hardware. All that said, there are still real trade-offs and risks. A premium Xbox could be too expensive for many buyers, leaving growth to software and subscriptions instead. A cheaper PlayStation that uses AI tricks needs to convince players that the experience is worth it. And developers need the tools to design those around those sorts of features. Now, both companies must time the launch to avoid undercutting their current console sales and to avoid splitting the audience at the wrong moment, especially with massive games releases like Grand Theft Auto 6 on the horizon, which will drive a lot of the console purchases regardless of their generational talk. For you as a player, the short version is quite simple. If rumors are right, and just expect a choice. One company may push a higher power monitor-friendly PC-like console for enthusiasts, and the other may try to move more people forward with a cheaper systems that uses AI to make games look better without huge silicon costs. Neither path is inherently wrong. There are different answers to the same problem: how to keep a console relevant in a market that's changing so fast. This doesn't mean we won't get a great PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series games over the next few years. It means that the hardware conversations will get louder. Expect more leaks, more interviews with architects and partners, and more talk about the AI, frame rates, which and where each of the companies wants to sit at the price tag. If you care about the raw power and frame rates, the next Xbox rumor are at least interesting. Well, quite expensive though, and maybe for a lot of people at the wrong direction that they're taking. Now, if you care about the value in a straightforward upgrade path, Sony's approach might appeal far more. Either way, be skeptical of the firm dates and exact specs until companies announce them. Rumors often mix visual thinking, leaks, and real engineering plans. Now, what's useful today is understanding the direction. Microsoft leaning premium and PC friendly, Sony leaning efficient and AI driven. That shapes how studios build games and how we, the players, decide where to spend our money at. I'll watch out for all these interviews and interesting talks and conversations, including from reliable rumors. But again, in my case, I feel, this is just me talking now, I feel that Xbox is taking a wrong direction with this, and I feel that they're only shooting themselves in the foot. But again, that's just my opinion. Nevertheless, guys, do let me know down in the comments what you think about all of this and in terms of what it could entail for the next generation of consoles. And yeah, love to read it down in the comments. See you guys all, like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.